Good afternoon. My name is Rhonda Crittendon. I am a special educator. This year, for 3 years, I've been teaching CES students, autism students. It's been very different for me this year. Always been a special educator though, however. So, I'm here today to talk about the forgotten stakeholders. Lifting up student voices in educational discourse about college and career readiness. We real cool. We left school, we lurk late, we strike straight, we sing sin, we thin gin, we jazz June, we die soon. That particular poem sparked a light in me as I began to do the research in determining where have we left our students. We do not listen to their particular voice. So I developed the research question of how can students' voices be incorporated in educational discourse to improve college career readiness programs or just being prepared, period, moving out of high school. So from that point, my rationale came from being a part of our system and recognizing that there's a tireless running hamster wheel type of thing that we go through, where we do a lot of the 4 R's is what I called it: revision, renewal, reevaluation, and reconstruction of the systems and programs that have been proven to be effective on the large scheme of things minimal for our children. Although these 4 R's are things that we do need to do in order to kind of reevaluate what's happening in our system and what's working. But there's a missing factor, and that's the voices of our students, those people who are mostly impacted by what is happening. And we don't have enough of their voices mentioned or to hear exactly what it is they actually need in order to succeed. So I'll let you take a look at some of the questions, the research questions that I used. Very simple questions just to jog the memories of those people or students who graduated 3 to 6 years ago. So I disseminated the data to Trinity University in particular, which a lot of my students that I know of have moved on to go to. And then I just did a general distribution through just the regular community. And those are a group of the other questions as well. So I gave them 11 questions, and out of the 11 questions, I chose a few of them. So there were 35 surveys that were distributed, and 31 college and or workforce students responded. So 19 of the 31 students were DCPS graduates, because that was the audience that I was looking for in particular, so I used their data. So one of the first questions was whether or not they even felt that they were prepared for the college or the workforce. And I'll just mention those that were highest in this percentage. And so on that 4 level, they felt that 58.1%, can't read from here that well, but they determined that they felt they were pretty prepared. Are you attending college or university, or are you in the workforce? Just trying to get an idea of where the students are. 67.7% of those students were in college. They were attending Trinity, and the workforce was a small percentage, but those who were doing both were 25.28%. How supportive were teachers and staff at the school when you were in DCPS high schools? So 61.3% thought they were supportive, 29% said somewhat, and because it was an open question for them to kind of respond to, one of the students stated that they believed the teachers and administrators were not equipped to handle students like his or herself, not sure which gender. I believe access to other resources, other problems. I would have had, if they had access to other resources, that the problems that they had would have led them to be more open in terms of learning and making it easier for staff to even deal with who they were. What was the most challenging subject in high school for them? As you can see, some of them said AP Calculus, Algebra and Trigonometry, and Math, but overall you see that Math is the gleaming challenge for them, and was the gleaming challenge for them in high school, and from that went into the sciences. So what were some of those factors that they said that made it difficult for them in school? And I'll just read a few. Not motivated to go to school. School was boring. Hanging out with classmates during the time that I should have been in school, that they called it office hours. They had a lot of things to do. So they cheered, they danced, musical theater. They just had a lot that was busy on their schedule, which made it difficult in school for them. So how engaging were your teachers in school? 35.5% of those students stated that they were generally engaged. And what do you think you need to be ready for college or the workforce? Confidence, a good attitude, how to fill out an application, time management, managing your money, such as filing taxes, and I needed to be focused. They thought focus was important, being devoted more completely to the work that they were doing and trying to minimize distractions. So, do you feel your teachers taught in a way that made it easy for you to learn? 48.4% of those students felt that yes, they were taught in that form. 25.5% said maybe, and as you can see, 9.7% said no, and all the others, it was on and off. So the literature review, I had a couple, but these were the two that stuck out. So there are Youth Truth is a national nonprofit organization that does surveys for youth in particular, but they surveyed juniors and seniors. And what they found was that nationwide students generally feel unprepared, and students are less prepared for future careers. And generally, they do not take advantage of the support systems that prepare them for future goals. And we've heard a lot about that today, just in terms of preparing our students with what they need. And it indicates that that is something that is starting to be embedded in their mindset from grades, from one grade to the next, and is following them through college. So the last particular one that stuck out were the state definitions of college and career readiness. And so this particular article kind of cited 13 states where they take different attributes of what their particular state needs to identify how they should construct their overall definition of what college and career readiness is. And so they felt that with those particular attributes, these are the things, as we start with going backwards to what we want to have moving forward, with the, searching with the end in mind, so to speak, that these particular attributes, DC for one, picked out the attributes of eliminating remediation, post-secondary studies with credits, level of preparation for success, earning a baccalaureate degree, and wanting the students to leave with goals, having goals and a career path with future advance. So those were the kinds of components that are part of the DCPS definition. However, some other colleges also added within their full definition vocational apprenticeship, understanding diverse perspectives of culture and worldview, building strong foundations of identity as individual students, producing clear and effective, accurate writing, and engaging in civic and community activities. So that was all a part of their definition. So in that, my recommendations to implement summer math courses. Put that back into the school system where they're learning more about math in different ways and how to function in society outside of that. Creating mandatory classes that assist students in preparing for their future, recognizing that when teaching and impacting Title I schools, or quote-unquote, word we don't like most, at-risk youth, that these are 7 components that you need to make sure that you address. Knowing that health and nutrition is important for them, vocabulary, effort and energy as a teacher, your mindset, your cognitive capacity, their cognitive capacity, the relationships that you connect with them, and the stress level. So these are all the things that you have to pay attention to as you are teaching and recognize that they impact our students and other things that we need to address as well. The vocational schools has been discussed as well, and I'm imploring the district to expand their definition a little bit more. That includes the career readiness that reflects the inclusivity of diverse demographics. So know those students that you are impacting and develop a system that will affect them as a whole child and a whole student. So I ask you, with the dream deferred, what happens to that dream deferred? Does it dry up like a raisin in the sun, or does it fester like a sore and then run? Does it stink like rotten meat or crust over like a syrupy sweet? Maybe it just sags like a heavy load, or does it explode? So I'm using this research as more of a reflecting tool so that you will think about listening to the students' voices and using what they say and taking it to heart to know that we want our children from the beginning and to the end to be able to move forward. That bottom picture has Michael Brown in it. He did graduate from high school, but however, his path was led a different way, and he wasn't able to succeed as far as what we wanted him to do. So I just ask, as educators, community workers, and those families that we're supporting, to take a look and listen, take the time to listen to students' voices, and move forward from there to see what we can get them. Thank you.